Hello, and welcome to the SaaSOps show. Today, we are going to be talking about strategic roadmap planning and how we mapped our IT teams work back to company growth strategies. Today, I'm joined by my co-host, Justine, not Dennis. Welcome back.
Thanks, Brian. As you know, I had to take some time off to train my flea circus.
40 fleas. What thrills, what a spectacle.
Because we have a really big show coming up. So I appreciate Dennis stepping in for me there.
How are the fleas doing? Are they jumping high?
They're doing good, but Jonathan still needs to work on his backflips.
I've heard that.
I'm back to talk about this important topic. As you know, I'm very passionate about IT being a strategic partner for the business. At BetterCloud, we use OKRs. We've been using them for probably over a year now. And if you're not familiar with that concept, that means objectives and key results. And it's supposed to be a framework that kind of helps you define and measure outcomes. An objective is the what you're trying to do, and the key results are the how. Internally, we're using a tool called Ally to make them visible across the organization, which has been really great for transparency. Brian, what has your experience been with the OKR process?
Yeah, I can tell you I was a little suspicious at first, or sus, as the children say these days. I think maybe not, probably because I've said it. They definitely don't say that.
I'm still blown away that they don't use the joy emoji anymore.
No!
Oh yeah, and don't get me started on chuggy. I can't. I've been attacked many times now for being too chuggy. So anyway, as far as the OKR process goes, I came to be a believer. I think what it really is it helps connect the work that you're doing to actual company goals, which is good because you don't want to just like work for work's sake. Nobody really wants to do that. And you want to feel like your work has some kind of meaning. And unless you're like, high-powered executive, which maybe some of you are, you might not be like doing the super high-level strategy stuff, but all of the work that you're doing can ultimately, if it's the right work, can be connected up to what the company's goals are. So I really liked to see how my work connected to what our company was trying to achieve. And the other part of it is transparency. So you mentioned that we use Ally. This is not a plug for Ally, but it's the tool that we use. And we can see, like everybody in the company can see all of the OKRs for the company and what the progress towards meeting those goals is. And so when I look through, like at previous companies, or if you don't work at a public company, you might just sit there and be like, how are we doing? I don't know. Like, how do I find out? I can ask some people, but it's better to have a source of truth and say, oh, hey, look, our marketing team is like this close to meeting this goal. This team of getting X number of customers or doing X number of things is really close to completion. And then recently our team completed like an all-team multi-day Agile training course. And it really kind of hammered home that this is a good way to operate. They said, the metaphor that he used was, making sure that the people laying the bricks know that they're building a cathedral. Not that we're building a cathedral, but a SaaS cathedral maybe. And I think it's really good. All of those, the Agile training teaches you to create stories or to create tasks in the context of business value. So it's always asking you to connect what you're doing with the objective that you're trying to achieve and to frame it in that and not say like, oh, I need to refactor this source code and I need to blah, blah, blah. It's really is like, in order for people to be more productive in this area, we need to implement something. And so that's, I think that it all starts to tie those threads together. I don't know. The metaphors are escaping me now. I've been to a lot of cathedrals. I will say there's a lot of bricks there.
There sure are.
And that's what I'll say on that.
Welcome to the SaaSOps show.
A lot of bricks in those cathedrals.
Come for the newsy nuggets. I think a lot of the shift in, oh, la-di-da, like here's just the thing that I want my team to work on, or I'm, setting up this person's computer or whatever, just that kind of like operational day-to-day work to an empowered strategic decision-making is largely just a mental one. It's how you think about it, right? So you're not just setting up a computer for someone, you are giving them a tool so that they can do their job as efficiently as possible. And if they're being efficient, like they're achieving their results and so on and so forth. When I started at BetterCloud, we had this huge backlog of projects we wanted to work on, but not necessarily a great way to prioritize them. And I wanted to make sure that we focused on the right stuff while also ensuring that there was buy-in from the team on what they were working on. I think it's really critical for a team doing the work to understand why they're doing it, what its impact is, and make sure that they're invested in it. It's definitely a team effort.
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, Justine set us in a room and shared out a Jamboard link. We used Google Jamboard to do this, where she'd written every last thing from our Jira backlog or project roadmap on a Post-it note. And every last thing, like literally, like reset this service account password. And then we sorted it.
We'll show you a screenshot.
Yeah. So we used an Eisenhower matrix to sort items into quadrants. And so everything that basically it was like, it's urgent, important, not urgent. And then like not urgent, not important, and not urgent. I don't know. You'll see the screenshot. It was important. There were 4 of them, places that we put the stuff. And we basically sorted it, and we all voted on it. And we put everything into there. And one thing I took away from the Agile training was it delighted me as a manager was like, don't make any decisions. Let your team make decisions. And I'm going to take that wholeheartedly. I'm just going to say, what do you think? But that's really what we did is we all had votes and we like picked the items, and then we said, okay, this is what we're going to work on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I hire smart people to make decisions. Like I don't need to be the one making every last decision. I mean, some of the decisions I do have to make, but generally speaking, like you probably know better about the nuances of a project than I do. But yeah, it was a very effective and fun way for the team to be engaged and contribute to how we structured our roadmap for the year. Once we had that, Brian and I could take a look at the list and see how our work could be tied into the corporate growth strategies. So one example that we can share is that one of our top level company strategies or company growth strategies is fanatical community. And our CEO, David, actually wrote a LinkedIn post about our OKRs as well. And we'll link that for you too, so you can see his perspective on them. But Brian and I are obviously really passionate about the community. We've both been members of the community for, like 8 years now, like long before either of us worked at BetterCloud. It was definitely for me a safe and welcoming learning environment. And I definitely want to make sure to keep contributing so that continues to be the case for many, many people.
Yeah, I mean, and something we realized was like, oh yeah, like, like as users of BetterCloud internally, we can continue to push boundaries with the product and share our best practices with you sitting right there on your computer screen, at your keyboard, probably opening us in one tab and then looking at us several days later. We can share this with you, the lovely viewers. So it was pretty easy. It was an easy way to see our work tie back into the OKR.
What's some advice that you would give our audience on how to start making these strategic decisions with their team's roadmaps?
Yeah, so what you need to do is you probably want to find out what your company's growth strategies are. And if you don't know what they are, you should ask somebody. And if that somebody doesn't know what they are, you should keep asking until you find out. And if you find out that they don't exist, you should come work for us because we're hiring. But you should find out what those growth strategies growth strategies are. And then you should take a look at what your backlog is. I'm sure you have a list of tasks sitting of like stuff you want to do, and just like Marie Kondo the shit out of them. Like if it does not bring you joy or growth, maybe delete it. Something that's nice to have, but doesn't have a lot of tangible business value, really isn't worth it, because one, you only have so much time. Like, I've never met anybody in IT who's like, did all my work, I'm done. Like, you're not going to have time to do everything. And so it's really important to prioritize the stuff that will give you the most value. And also, like, it's going to make you look better too. Like, if you are coming into a room and saying, I realize that our goal is to grow our customers by X% year over year. And I think that if we do this, we implement this system, we can make people like X% more productive, which will help them achieve that goal. Then like, it's going to be so much more well received than if you're just like, I think that it would be fun to install robots in all of the cafeterias to scare people. I don't know. Robots scare me. Anyway, sorry, that was a tangent, but so you should reframe kind of like what your operational work is. Your job isn't like sitting around resetting passwords. Your job is to make people's work lives better through technology. Your work will help them do their work better.
Yeah, and Brian mentioned it, but as a reminder, we are hiring. So if working for a radically transparent company with defined company growth strategies sounds cool to you, you can come join us. And please come chat with Brian and myself in the SaaSOps community. We look forward to learning from you and with you. Yeah,
please do. And also, if you want to prove to the world your knowledge of all things SaaS and BetterCloud, you should also consider getting certified. We'll have links. It's bettercloud.com/certification, but we'll have links here.
We finally have cards.
Yeah, I didn't really understand how cards work, but it's just a little thing that pops up right here.
It's pretty exciting. I mean, I'm excited.
We're really good at technology here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, thank you everyone for joining us for another rousing episode of the SaaSOps show. We will see you next time, and also in the community. Bye. I love to hydrate.
Look at all that hydration in there.
Uh-oh, it's disappeared into my background.